You're watching the Noble Farms YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and support the channel. Thanks for watching.
So we're back in the shop. We've got the dozer in here getting ready to replace the batteries and that. So got the batteries right here, the new batteries that's going in. I got them just on the charger here now, just to charge, put some charge into them while I'm taking out the old ones. So got the seat tipped up. I've got some of the wires starting to take off the main terminals on the battery. So here's the alternator. This is what I think it's causing me trouble. So this is what we're going to be replacing. So we're going to get at it, get it taken out. We got the fire lit here in the shop, and let's get a little bit of heat here so it's not too uncomfortable. And here's up into the batteries where we're going to be taking apart. You see I got a wire or two off there now, so we're going to be taking some of that out of there, get those batteries out, get the new ones put in, put the new batteries on, and try it and see how it works. So follow along and we'll pull some batteries. So I've got the main terminal over here turned off. That's master switch. Got that turned off. So now we're going to just these old terminals here, we got to loosen them up somehow with the big screwdriver and see if we can get them off the lugs off the battery. Try not to touch nothing here because you know these batteries still have life into them, so try not to hark nothing out here. Try to move all this. Well, I think I've got most of the bolts loosened up, so just a matter of wiggling them around and get them up like that. This one here was a little different size, I do believe. Maybe we can get them. Loose. Okay. So that's everything disconnected there now. So now we'll try to lift out those batteries. Now I'm not sure if the batteries is actually gone. Don't think they are. We're going to keep the batteries and keep them on a trickle charger and that, but yeah, and see how they work out. But I am putting a new set on, so I think she deserves a new set of batteries, so that's what we're going to do, put a new set in. These looks like they were pretty good batteries too, so but we'll pull them out anyway. Okay. So that's the old ones out. New ones can go in there now. But before, I'm going to clean up all of them connections and all that there now and see if I can clean them up a little bit so they get a better, it connects a lot better. So we're going to clean that up now, I guess. So trying to clean them all up best we can, just so we can get a better arc on that. Get a little better connection. Looks pretty good. We'll do the other end. These are great because piece fits right in there perfect and shine them right up. Inside looks good. Looks like they haven't been cleaned up in a long time, so hopefully that works. These two. Try to get that in focus for you so you can see. Positive. Okay, that's cleaned up. So that's all cleaned up now, so we can get the new batteries put in place. Lay them in. I'll wait for a little bit first because we do have the other one on the charge here. I want to make sure both of them are showing fully charged on the charger there. So there they are sitting on the charger. So just to make sure that they're fully charged. 99% charged, so shouldn't be that long. So we'll lay them in there and start getting them hooked back up again. So we're going to put those batteries in. I'm hoping that the height, because it's not batteries that's specifically for this dozer. So I'm hoping that they're not too high for there. I never measured it or nothing, so it's just going to lay them in and and see how it works. Okay, it's enough room. It is tight though, just saying. It is pretty tight, but it do look like there's enough room there. I'll probably end up putting a piece of rubber over the top of that actually, just so they don't arc out. Okay, we'll get the second one. Okay, that's both batteries. Now, still got that master switch turned off, so no power going anywhere on that. So hopefully we can get this all nice and solid and firm on here without too much issue. So we should be able to tighten that in there now. These old things get like stretched, so after so many times tighten them, they don't want to go tight on them very often. So if that's the case here, we'll end up getting new ones, chopping the wires off and putting new ones on later on. But now we'll see what kind of connection we got. It's pretty tight on there, so should be good. That needs a good connection on there, right? You don't want much moving on that. So that's negative. So we'll put the positive one in. Try to get them down as tight as you can there. Now I'm actually going to get a washer to go on there to bring that nut out a little further, so that I do have something there to connect to. Once that one goes on, that one will come on there. Looks like I'll put the nut on this one first. Tighten that one on. That. in there. So what you're doing here is just making sure you got a good connection on all the terminals there, basically. They're nice and solid, nice and tight, and usually that's good enough. It's good and tight there too as well, so that should do that. Get those protective cases put over it. Doesn't arc out on those positives there. So that'll be the protection on that. Right there like that. So there you go. That's 2 batteries in. Terminals are wicked tight, so hopefully that works there. So we're going to keep the power turned off for it yet until I get that alternator and stuff all hooked up. I am missing one of the wires we ordered, left it up to work, up where I stay for work, so 3 hours drive away from that, so it's not worth my while to drive up there to get that, but I'm just use the same wiring, I guess, that's on the Dozer already. I was going to change out the wiring, that's why I bought new wiring and new connections and all that. So I guess we'll just go with the wiring that's there for now and see how that turns out. So now we're back to the alternator and see if we can replace this. So you remember, I do have the power turned off, so just want to make sure that's all off. And you don't want to be at these power wires with power on them, so and this one's coming straight off from straight out of the alternator, so I don't think that's supposed to happen. I think that's supposed to be a nut there. Not sure, but it just seems that way. Maybe it is a bolt. Okay, so that's my negative wire, black. And in here, in the back here, is the positive. Screwdriver here and move some of that. Move some of that rubber protection coating there, sleeve, whatever you want to call it, on there, so I can actually see the bolt itself. That's quite a bit smaller bolt, so I'll go grab another wrench for that. So gotten off the brackets here, so now trying to get this bolt, and this nut here is really stripped out, not the inside on the treads, but where you put the wrench on. So I believe it's a 3/8, so I've gotten, but it was really tough to get. The wrench didn't want to go on. It looked like it's rounded out quite a bit. wrench still not grabbing, but giving me enough to be able to get a hold of it anyway. So there he is. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's the alternator that's gone, but I'm replacing it anyway. So we'll see. Just checking some of these wires here just to make sure they're all good. Don't look the best condition, but wish I had that plug that I bought, because that would have made life a lot more easier to install this for sure. So I'll get the new alternator now and put in there just to see how much fabricating I'll have to do to get this in there and get it on and working. So this is the new alternator that's going on there. Like I said before, I don't know much about this at all, so I'm hoping it's just plug and play kind of deal, but we'll see. Well, for starters, that's not going to fit through there very good. And looks like I'm going to need quite a few spacers to get in there. So this may be a trying to fit it, get it working, so kind of deal. All right, so we'll see if we can get this together. So what I did was, the hole that bolt wouldn't go through, I just drilled a little tiny bit bigger so that the bolt do fit in there comfortable now, and I have a bunch of washers for spacers. So get this in. See if I can get these on there now without causing too much grief. It's definitely not easy to get them in there. In there now, that would be awesome, but I think it's going to be a chore. That one didn't do it. Trying to get them all lined up so that it fits right through. Looks like I got it. Okay. Now, the only thing is if that belt might go on there belt line to go on there, then I may be in business. Hoping that's going to work. Okay. Now that's under, but I guess I should have put them wires on before I did that, because now I don't have enough room to get in there, so I have to take that out again. Never noticed that the wires is actually on the back side of this one instead of the front side like the other alternator. And guys, if you got farm equipment and you're not going to do none of this mechanic stuff yourself or try it, then it's going to cost a whole pile of money trying to do it right and stuff. So, you know, it's not cheap. It's not, I gotta say. It's not easy, to say the least. But you know, you have to do some of this yourself. If not, it's just going to be way too expensive. I'd love to have that other wire that I've left in at work, so, but I don't. And that sucks, because I'd really like to have new wiring on all of this. But that being said, it doesn't look like it's bad wiring or anything. It's nothing broke. It's nothing just hanging on or anything. But still, I still would have liked to have been able to, if I took it off, I'd like to be able to put the new back. So, but it is what it is, I guess. I'm going to grab a file or something, try to clean out these little connections in here. Try to clean that out a little bit. Just try to get a little better connection. So I've dropped the alternator back down again. I'm going to put the wires on. That plug gotten cleaned out a little bit there. Wasn't much on it, still a little shiny on the inside, but we'll give it a little bit of a steel brush, stuff some wires down, brighten that up a little bit. I'm also going to put some of the grease on it there for the wiring, so I'll put some of that on there too as well, just in case. A little dab down in each one of them for the connection part of it, just because it is a plug-in. Get those wires put on here. These are the power wires that we're installing. Try to give myself a little bit of water here. Actually, I'm gonna put that one on the bottom, small one on top. Get that nut started. Bit of a tight spot there for the fingers. Okay. See exactly what size that is. So we'll put that plug back in there. I'll tighten up that power wire on there. Now it worked before with the wiring that how it's hooked up, so I'm hoping it's still gonna work on that. Now that's hooked up, that's hooked up. Now should be ready now to put that back in place, hopefully. That bolt put back. Okay. Now, that's the one for that. So, it looks like now that I'm off a little bit for the alternator. Looks like the alternator has to come back this way a little bit to line up the belt. Looks like it's throwing off a little bit. So I go right back to square one, taking the alternator all off again, moving it back so. I guess I need some washers on the other side of that. I packed them all on one side. Looks like I have to put 2 or 3 of them on the front side. So I'll do that. Don't think I'll have to take the wiring off for it. I don't understand why they have this here like this. This should have been cut off and put in instead of a big bend in it. Yeah. Take that belt off again. Don't want to lose these washers. Okay. So now to put these washers out front here. Let me see how that looks there now. Okay, that's a little better. So now I need to get one more in between there. Trying to line that up. Get through. Right there. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. That should work a little bit better. Stupid how they got that hose there. Drop the washer down here. There it is. Okay, now I should be able to put that back up there at the top here again to tighten the alternator in place. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to get that tight in there somehow. think I may have him tight there now. If I can get at him here. Okay, that belt's pretty tight, so that's good. Now we gotta tighten up the bottom section. Right now, all we're doing now is just securing the alternator in place. So them washers and that I packed on there, compressing them now tight. So just making sure it's all nice and tight on there. Belt still really tight. So now it's the ground cable. Gotta go on. So we cleaned that up too as well. This one here just grounds the everything, hopefully. So there, that's that. In the perfect world, it's hooked back up exactly the way that it came off. So hopefully that's what it takes to make it work. Just looking there now because that didn't jump on the other pulley that he was supposed to be on. So right now it's off a little bit. So I'm going to take that off again and move it in on the other pulley on the bottom. It's so dark in there you can't see. Should have had a light there, but so I'm going to take this off and change it back over. So we just the alternator is in, and I just installed a volt meter here too as well. So just doing the final touches on the voltmeter here, hooking up the wiring. All I got left to hook up now is just a ground onto that, trying to put the panel back in here. Had to hook into the ignition switch here for power supply for the voltmeter. So just finishing that off there. That I just gotta, like I said, hook up that ground, and then we should be able to give her a try and see how everything works. By turning on the key, it says we have power in that too as well. So hoping it's all charging right and all hooked up right, because I definitely don't know what I'm doing, but just going by some common sense here and reading instructions and hooking it up the way that the diagrams say so. So hopefully that all works out. So we'll see here in a minute once I get a ground. So I have to find a ground down here somewhere. Bring the wire down through the tractor here, and the ground. The whole tractor is the ground, so we can hook it to anywhere on the frame of the tractor. It says hook up to the battery, to the negative on the battery, but then the negative to the battery is hooked up to the frame of the tractor, so that'll be the ground. So yeah, I'll hook that up, and then we'll see where we go from there. Getting pretty late out too now as well. I still got to go out and feed the cows and the sheep, so want to try to get this this part hooked in here before that. So yeah, gonna find try to run the wire down. This is the ground. I cut it long so that I didn't know where I was going to attach it, so now I gotta find a spot. I'm thinking I may just attach it right up the top up there by where everything is bolted on up there. So I'm gonna go back up and take a look at that and see if I could just attach a short wire and have an efficient ground with that. So we'll see. So I hooked up the ground up to the top up here. Oh, trying to get up and down on the tractor all day. Legs are gone. But anyway, we're going to, like I said, I've got it hooked up there now. Phone out of it. That was my flashlight, my phone. But anyway, I've got the gauge hooked up now, the volt gauge. So, yeah. I had the test light there so I could test to see if it was power on the key place where I attached it to. So, I just turned on the power again. So, now I'm going to give it a try and see if it works. Perfect. It got power on right here now. So we'll give her a go. Here we go. And we're charging because it was down to 12 volts before. Just with the key on, it was at 12 volts. And now if you see, it's gone up to 15 volts. So it's at 15 volts there now, pretty close to it anyway. So that's a good sign. So that means that we are getting charged back. So yeah, pretty simple system. Dozer works pretty good, so we do have some issues. We have a bunch of lights on in the dash, but that's been on ever since the last couple owners, I think, according to what they say. So yeah, That's a win for me. Go check that alternator, make sure that's spinning. Running good. So that's good. That's running. So I was 3 hours or so at it, I bet. But all in all, I call that a good win for me. Anyway, I'm not not very mechanically inclined, but sometimes you just got to go and do something and get it fixed yourself. So here's the end product. Everything's running fine now, so I'm just gonna let the dozer, shut the dozer off, let it sit here for the night, and then tomorrow morning then we'll probably come out, fire this thing up, and we'll go and start pushing some more snow and trying to clear another spot for fence lines for crossing the field. We're gonna do some crossing some fences there, so clearing some lines to put some cross fence in. So making 4 or 5 different paddocks, splitting the woods up. So that's what we bought it for. So hopefully it does the trick. So anyway, I guess that's a wrap for today, and we'll get at this again tomorrow at plowing some snow. But for this video on installing the alternator and a voltmeter, like I said before, never had some of the wiring I wanted to do with it. I left it back up where I work to, so apartment I stay. So, but we made do and got it working and it's charging, so that's good. So I call that a good day. So anyway, take care of all yourselves. Keep watching those videos. We'll keep posting them every week, every Sunday. There'll be a new video post about what's happening here on the farm. So take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you in the next videos.